Well, the first superpower is actually getting cables to connect and shows a video signal. So, all right, yeah, I'm John Shulters. I run Ascension Studios, which is effectively just a freelance design visualization firm that I've been running for about the past 15 years. And today we're going to take some time specifically to talk about one of the kind of newer markets that I've been serving, which is Treehouse Designers. And we've developed kind of a process to help these guys that is probably an understatement to say that in general they're not very technologically savvy. A lot of them are still drafting with graph paper and pencil, and so just introducing this technology has been an order of magnitude increase in their ability to be accurate in what they're designing. They would traditionally go do a site visit and they would take some digital photographs. They might have a tape measure and kind of draw a little sketch of what this view of a tree might look like, but it wasn't capturing anything of the essence of this structure in which they're building. And the structural components that go into these trees are very critical to the stability of these homes, which are, you know, they're not merely children's play structures. These are guest homes, they're offices, they're full-blown residences built in the trees. So when I kind of came into this environment, I realized that there was a big lack of degree of accuracy that could help these guys so that when they come time to actually build these structures, they don't have to realize that there's a giant 6-inch branch that would go right through my wall that I was planning to build here. So what we've kind of developed is this 4-stage process. And we're just calling it the live process because basically it involves the location, inspection of the trees, visualization, and then an experience for their clients. So I'll just kind of quickly go through sort of the method and the results from each of those stages. So the location is the digital site survey. And we're using some pretty readily available methods for photogrammetry, both ground-based and aerial-based, to create a model that resembles what you might get from a LiDAR scanning system, but is a heck of a lot cheaper, a lot more portable, and a lot easier to get in and out of a site, especially out in the wilderness where access may be difficult. And the results from this process is getting a super highly accurate 3D scale model of the trees and the environment that the designers can then use to lay out their designs, whether it's still drawing on paper or if they're using SketchUp or Revit or any other CAD software, they can use these 3D models of the trees. They can also be provided sliced sections through trees at certain elevations with very accurate dimensions. All of these models that we create are viewable on a mobile device, so these designers can carry the site around with them in their pocket, basically, and they're even 3D printable, so if they wanted a physical model of these trees, they could do that. The next stage of inspection is pretty critical, so this is where the accuracy of the scan comes into play, where we are able to take very accurate point-to-point measurements, circumference and diameter measurements of the trees, and in fact, just recently we've been able to verify that the difference between physically measuring something in the field with a tape or a laser combined with the photogrammetry scan can be within a half an inch, which certainly within the limits of this construction is very accurate and very suitable. We're also gathering aerial video, so we can fly up into where these tree structures may be so that we can get views to determine if this is in fact the site that they want to build in. We also partner with some very highly skilled arborists from Tree Solutions, and they bring a whole suite of new accurate tools where they can measure the internal health and viability of any tree that, combined with our data, can provide a really great data set for the designers and the clients to make a good choice. Then once all of this data has been fed to the designers and they create their models, this is the visualization stage, which has kind of been my bread and butter for many years now. So I take that design data and create, whether it's simply a beautiful still image or an animation, but even more so now, again, creating real-time 3D models that they can view on the web or on their mobile device, or augment on any kind of, a small marker system so that it kind of replicates those physical models that the designers might be used to, or even producing 3D physically printed models. And then this last stage is mostly when they're interfacing with the clients, is trying to bring this experience of what this magical structure will really feel like long before the first nail is hammered. And so we take the same 3D data sets that we've been using through design and bring those generally into Unity or some other real-time environment or file format and create augmented reality experiences where we can see, the real scale of this structure in place outside in the tree, or now even VR experiences where we don't have to be on site if that's difficult, or if we want to present that to multiple people at a time or remotely, we can provide these interactive 3D environments, either VR or via the web, that still give that sense of scale, that sense of wonder, that sense of being able to see a design and give some feedback to the designer before anything is committed and actually started in the trees. So real quickly here, I'm just going to hop over and see if I can pull up a short little video here so you can kind of see the process. And we will be patient while things try to load. There we go. And we're not getting any video because there's more than one. Here we go. Sorry, hold on. Perfect. So at the beginning here, you'll see some of the custom calibration devices that we've designed. When you're out amongst the trees, generally everything is green and brown and very low contrast and difficult to get accurate scans. But we'll go out there and capture all of the photographs that we need. You can see the still imagery above. You can see some aerial video there on the right. Some of the laser dimensions that we get from tree to tree that can help these designers. And then the result is these exceedingly accurate and detailed scans of every tree in that environment. And then a quick example of how those same trees can be brought in and combined with the final design where the user can walk around and experience that in VR. Some AR experiences based on just simple marker tracking based in the trees so you can see the buildings in context. And then also just, those before pictures and then, the beautiful photoreal images at the end. So that's a little bit more about me. And if you have any questions, feel free to grab a mic and ask away.
All right, question right here.
Do you see consumer level devices like Project Tango and the like getting to the point where they're suitable to provide design inputs for those types of projects?
Well, if it's specifically things like the structure scanner or what I think of is capable in things like Project Tango is that the depth sensors, the range of them is generally not suitable for these large scale environments. So it can be difficult to, if you can imagine a tree structure that might be built 75 feet in the air, it's difficult to get a scanner or get something close enough where we get the fidelity that we need, whereas we can stick a GoPro on a quadcopter and fly up there and spin around it and get a bunch of photographs, process that through photogrammetry software, and create highly detailed models in that area. So I'd love to use scanners and be able to just sort of paint with light and get the model in real time, but right now photogrammetry seems to be the best and cheapest solution for creating the most accurate model.
Hi, short question. Have your solution changed price for the customers, which increase, decrease price for the house?
Oh, how does it affect their price?
And maybe some shares from customer experience.
Well, generally the price is going to be a lot less at the end. The final tab will be a lot less if you involve this process early, because as opposed to their traditional workflow, which was educated guesswork, to be frank, they can be very confident at the beginning of the process that everything that they design is going to fit. Any conflicts with the trees can be addressed. You can have people arborists that climb the trees and prune things ahead of time, and you know that if you cut this beam this long, it's going to fit. There won't be anything in the way. You can be confident where the structure is going to be. Also, what's really important is that there are a few engineers involved in this space that deal specifically with tree structures. And as most engineers kind of fits their personality, they like actual data and not just sketches and notes. And so having a CAD model of a tree is pretty revolutionary for them, because they can bring that into their analysis software and they can determine all the forces on that tree, where the forces are on the structural elements of that tree house, and be much more confident in their ability to design.
Hi.
Hi.
I was kind of surprised to find that there's so much of specialization in this, and I was wondering how common is this whole idea of building tree structures? Because it seems like, is that what you're specializing in? It seems like there are architects and engineers who specialize in that.
I would say it probably ranges between 25 and 50% of what I work on a daily basis. A lot of my other work is with traditional architecture and design visualization work. But there is, you may be surprised, there's a growing and robust industry in tree structure design, which may be houses, it may be zip lines, it may be adventure parks. All of those kind of fit in that same genre. And you may see some of the shows on Animal Planet, or a new show launching soon on DIY Network that focus specifically on treehouse designers and builders. So there's a lot of them out there, and I'm happy to help them make better tree houses. So, yeah. So the question is, if I have to assume any of the liability because of the accuracy that I'm providing. My contract specifically says I do not have any liability in this case, because for the most part, I'm providing a design assist tool to the designer, which is way better than what they would have had anyway. And the resulting imagery that I create is really just, the guarantee is that it's a pretty picture, and really no more than that. The finishes can all be different. All of the structure can be different in the end. So.
Great. Well, thanks a lot, John.
All right, thank you.